Let's go. Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff. We are going to talk about a lot of great things today. Why? Because XRP, is it ready to go parabolic from $1 to 1,000? Where does it fall? Really? Is today's stream all about the clickbait? I don't know. We'll have to find out and see. But there's a ton of things in this space, a lot of great news, a lot of interesting news as it pertains to the Ripple SEC case, a lot of Amicus, all these things going on today that we need to cover, that we have to talk about. So if you guys are ready to kick this thing off, I'm ready to kick this thing off, and we got to figure this out. Ready? Ready? All right, let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
All right. Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff. We are fired up. Why? Because there's a lot of great things going on today. As you guys pop in here, why don't you guys shout out where you're tuning in from? City, state, country, whatever you feel like putting in there, be really great. We have people that tune in from all over the world that have all sorts of amazing things to contribute to the conversation. So as per the thumbnail, as per the title, from $1 to 1,000. Now, the first comment that I'm going to put up is Will Charles. Let's get to $1 first. And that's exactly it, because the question is, how high does XRP go? Does it go to $1? Does it go to $5? Does it go to $10? Where exactly does it end? That is a huge question. We have people tuning in again from all over the world. We've got Florida here. We've got California here. We have people from all over the world. Australia. We've got Cancun, Mexico. We got people as far north as Melbourne, Florida, which is pretty cool. Now, let's see. Hydroponics Alan, do you know where Astatula, Florida is? I'm not exactly sure where Astatula is. Astatula. Don't know, but it's someplace in Florida. So anyhow, let's get into this. We got a lot to cover. Very short time to do it in. The dog is going crazy. Not sure if you hear him in the background, but he's not happy. Not happy to be trapped in here with me. So anyhow, let's see, where are we going to start? You know where I want to start? I want to talk about some of these amazing tweets that have been dropping over the past couple of days. And so we're going to start with that. We're going to go and do kind of like a Twitter run and have a lot of fun going through this. And that's how it's going to go. I don't know. Do you guys hear the dog? Man, you guys can't hear Julius in the background getting all crazy, getting all nutty, which is really good. That's all the sound stuff that we have going here, covers up all the crazy noises. So all right, let's pull this up. Hang on a second. Here we go. All right, let's pull up the first, and then as people, Lake County. All right, here we go. What do we have here? See what kind of different views we can do. Do something interesting. We can go like that, but then you guys can't see it. So we can go like that. We go like that. All right, the first one comes from, and these might be a little bit out of order. I was trying to put them in order, but this is John Deaton. As we know, John Deaton representing 75,000 XRP holders all over the world. Some really interesting and important commentary coming from him. If you guys aren't following John Deaton on Twitter, I know a lot of people don't go on Twitter, but for those that do, if you're not following John Deaton, make sure that you do. But here, I'm about to file a letter motion asking Judge Torres to give me permission to file the XRP holder amicus brief. Attached to the motion letter will be the attached brief. Now, we'll go through a lot of tweets until we actually get to the filing, which is really, really great. And then there's actually something coming from Coinbase as well. Coinbase and Brian Armstrong also has requested to file an amicus brief. So this is really great. What did I say? I told John that he's a rock star. 100% rock star going on here. A lot of great things, a lot of great commotion. So, all right, let's go to the next one. John Deaton, this is what I said. So this was, again, out of order, maybe, but we'll bounce through anything that happened like October 31st to today, November 2nd. Again, out of order, but that's all right because a lot of cool things that happened here. John Deaton, this is what I said the first moment I read the Ripple XRP complaint. I said the SEC lacks good faith to argue that each and every sale of XRP made by anyone from the beginning of time until the end of the world is a security. It's an absurd argument that will lose. And that's exactly what he said, which is spot on. Happens to be that John Deaton came on to our show shortly thereafter, getting involved in all of this. And it was, man, we got to go back and pull up some of the conversation that we've had with John Deaton over the past couple years. Decrypt said, people have given up on us because we haven't taken those steps to work in good faith, says SEC Gov Commissioner and Hester Purse. So there you go. Obviously, they've done some things that are definitely not in the interest of the XRP holders, meaning retail. The very people they're meant to protect, they weren't. So that says a tremendous amount about the direction that this whole case has gone in. And then King of Crypto over here said the SEC has prosecuted their case so poorly in the Ripple case that it begs the question, how weak might their other previous prosecutions been? Now, this is it. This is really important as we get to this point. Why? Because as we've seen, 2 years, the SEC has gone on, and they filed this case, and we would have figured that if the SEC filed a case on behalf of and in protection thereof of these retail investors, all of us, they would have a solid case against Ripple with full proof that they damaged all of the retail investors out there with false promise and false hope, which is so far from the truth. But yet the SEC is still grasping at this and holding on to it as though it is fact. But what we know is fact is the exact opposite of what the SEC has been arguing. And therefore, what's amazing is that here we are 2 years in, and the SEC still is playing all sorts of shenanigans with the facts, which is crazy. A big shout out to Jim D, supporter here on the chain, as is Legendary. Legendary is there as well. JS can't hear anything. Can't even hear what we're talking about. Why? Because all JS can hear is the furious clicking of his mouse to buy XRP, and that's it. Tons. There he is. K HUD, very easy. Stop by, but just your crew there. Not sure which where you stop by, but anyhow, I also want to give a quick shout out to thought I saw Legendary in here. There's Legendary. Legendary's happy with $1 at this point. Forget about the 1,000. Got Tony Bags. We haven't seen Tony Bags for ages over here on the chain. So what is going on? Well, we got El Jefe is all over the place, over in Michigan and soon to be in Punta Gorda, Michigan, quite a place. Got a lot of Floridians here too. So a lot of Floridians are gathering with us, which is awesome. We've got Apex. Apex is on with the Chip last week, which is, I guess you guys had a great show. So James Rule XRP, what is up? If you guys haven't followed James Rule XRP, go do that right now. Follow James Rule XRP. Hester Purse should also file. That's right. I mean, there's so much going on. A lot of things here in the space. Dog is driving me crazy with all the barking. Doesn't even know that I'm in here, which is crazy. He thinks he's trapped in here by himself, has no idea that I'm here. So what is this? Do you think it has to do with the JP Morgan coin? You know what? That's interesting because if we remember exactly when JP Morgan talked about the JPM coin, I don't even know if there's any relevancy anymore to the JPM coin. I don't know. Has anybody heard of any progress or maybe a destabilization, or just maybe they just threw it in the garbage? I don't even know. Not sure if they've done anything at all with the JPM coin. So AR is saying good morning crypto show. All right. So what do we have here? Hang on. Here we go. JS, another one here. I'm really starting to think the only goal of this is to protect the remittance use of the US dollar, or possibly to keep the dollar viewed as anything but a Ponzi scheme at this point. I think that overall, there's definitely some major power players that are trying to maintain their hold on power. The one thing that this so-called control, group, whatever, that's behind pulling all the purse strings. They're pulling all the strings. They're afraid of the decentralized nature that is coming with blockchain and with the cryptocurrency, with this digital asset, not CBDCs, but the crypto digital asset that's built on a decentralized network, similar to the XRPL. So this becomes, really, really critical, I think, as we look at it. And I think K-HUD is bringing up a solid point. Financial warfare. We've entered into a point of financial warfare. So now countries around the world, K-HUD, are looking at the CBDCs. They're looking at the digitization of their currency. Now, we saw what's happening over in India. So India is rolling out fast. They've been testing out the digital rupee, and about a year or so ago, they killed all their large bills. They took those out of circulation. They're trying to get, and they were pushing for the removal of fiat out of circulation. So they're in preparation of this. Although when we looked early on a couple of years ago, the government was, they were really showing their animosity to digital currency, or at least that's what they wanted to project. They wanted to project this notion that they're 100% against it. It would never happen. They want to stick in the fiat realm. They don't want to But now, as the years have progressed, we've obviously talked over the past year a lot about CBDCs, with the first C being centralized, right? The central bank, or the centralized control mechanism. They want to hold full control over the currency. They want to maintain sovereignty over the currency. But the fact that you want to also then enter in mechanism into this digital currency that could then, impact. So they want to remove the privacy element of money. They also want to put in the control or the programmability aspect of money. So they want to have an environment where if you don't follow along, then you can be cut off from your monetary supply, from your money, from the money that you've earned, the money that you've saved. They want to have that mechanism. Now, we see that in some countries where they have social scoring already, and what that impact is. So now imagine social scoring along with full control over the money supply, meaning that every dollar that's out there in circulation, have full control over that circulation. Very, very problematic. So, all right, let's move on. Spent too much time on that. Let's go through this. Here, let's go to this next tweet. And again, like I said, this is going to be October 31st through November 2nd. So John Deaton says, to the lawyers out there, no need for me to name them or other crypto leaders who claim that I am pushing conspiracy theories by bringing attention to the indisputable truth. I await your rebuttal. So what is that? John Deaton says, will Congress do its job? Will Congress step up and do what is necessary? Where? So he says, will Congress step up? Congressman Warren Davidson. If you guys haven't seen Congressman Warren Davidson here on the chain, go to onthechain.io and check out, do a quick search for Warren Davidson and go back and watch the interview that we did with Congressman Davidson. Then Tom Emmer. If you haven't seen our interview with Congressman Tom Emmer, go to onthechain.io. And when you're there, do a search for Tom Emmer, and there you go. You'll be able to watch the interview with Tom Emmer. Now, the same thing, if you haven't seen or you want to go back and watch any of the interviews we've had with John Deaton, do the same thing. Go to onthechain.io and do a search for John Deaton. So he shouts out these different congressional representatives. Is there an inquiry? I know that thousands of messages were sent asking for a letter of inquiry, just asking if the Hinmman speech was officially screened and approved by SEC ethics. Right? A lot going on with this. Maybe there's some issues. So what did CryptoLaw say early on? He said, former SEC enforcement branch chief says that the ethical questions surrounding William Hinman's Ethereum speech should be made clear. Now, why are they covering all this stuff up? John Deaton, 5 hours ago, said Congressman Davidson asked this question directly to the SEC enforcement director at the last hearing, but he refused to answer, claiming he couldn't talk about it because it was being litigated. That answer is 100% misleading and not true. The question must be answered now and can't be avoided. John Deaton moves on and says, first, it wasn't true. Whether the Hinmman speech was screened and approved by SEC ethics was never litigated. Only emails, drafts, and comments about the speech were being litigated. Regardless, this issue is moot. The judge ruled, and the emails, drafts have been turned over. Now, imagine, again, we have this case, the SEC v. Ripple, where they supposedly 2 years ago had all of the facts in the case to come down against Ripple, claiming that they were selling an unregistered security. Now, if that was the fact, why wouldn't they be open and transparent to the speeches, to the notes, and everything else? Just reveal all of the facts, all the evidence that you have. Give it to us. Show the people what you have. Put it in front of the court. But John Deaton moves on here, says the motions for summary judgment are in, and nowhere does the ethics question get raised, proving it wasn't being litigated. Regardless, it isn't being litigated anymore. The SEC didn't appeal the judge's ruling. Gary Gensler and the SEC enforcement director can't give you the answer again. So, and it goes on. I mean, it's amazing, right? I've stated that the speech wasn't screened for ethical conflicts. How do I know? One, Hinman's integrity ethics have been questioned publicly for 2 years. I mean, it's amazing. John Deaton is so spot on, and he's just hammered this, right? Just over and over and over again. Just he's drilling down through all of the fact, all of the information. And I mean, you guys can go through it and read this, but here's one of them also. As you know, because you're not retired from Simpson Thatcher, but are an ongoing profit-sharing partner receiving millions from them while being at the SEC, the ethics office inform you that you have a 100% financial conflict. Amazing, right? So this information, and Deaton's throwing it out there. Why? Because he's got the facts. He's got the evidence here. And it just goes on and on. I mean, we could spend the whole show just going through reading this. We're not asking for a lot. Just ask the question like Congressman Davidson already did, except now they can't evade it. To those who wish we'd leave this alone, if you want crypto and this industry to move forward legitimately, you must clean our own house. We must clean our own house, or the enemies will. Now, there you go. Spot on. Lots of great information put out here. Just unbelievable. Phoenix Starborn. What is up? Holy cow. We haven't seen Phoenix Starborn in ages. I can't even tell you how long it's been. Been ages and ages and ages. What is going on? Man, crazy. There we go. So, all right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. We're going through these rapidly. Now, we're talking about, who's filing, what kind of companies are getting involved, who's coming after the SEC, right? And it just seems like over and over and over again, we know that there was some involvement coming from Coinbase as well. But here you have Valhil Capital has requested permission to file an amicus brief in support of the Ripple's defendant's motion for summary judgment. The proposed brief is Exhibit A. Here you go. Another one. Right? They just keep falling like every day, almost every week. There's a couple coming out. XRP Crypto Wolf said, where did all these Ripple bandwagons come from? Don't get me wrong. I love the support, but where were they in the beginning when we needed them the most? I mean, and we were talking about that the other day, the Blockchain Association also coming out in support of Ripple. But where were they 2 years ago? Why were they completely silent on this case? I mean, did they have no confidence that Ripple was on the right side of things? Was it that, the Blockchain Association, I mean, it took them 2 years to get involved and to come out and say, hey, the Blockchain Association actually going to stand up for a member of the community that is building a massive company in the blockchain space that happens to be working on real world utility, moving money. Yet the Blockchain Association has stayed silent for 2 years. So I think this is a really, really solid point here from XRP Crypto Wolf. Where were they? Why now? Well, now because everybody smells the blood in the water. Everybody realizes the sharks are circling. There's an injured seal, say in the bay bleeding, and all the sharks are circling, waiting and ready to take a bite out of that out of that seal, and the seal just happens to be the SEC. Why? Because the SEC got into this lawsuit 2 years ago, supposedly with all the facts, with all the evidence. They were so strong, they were so convinced of their own, of their own prejudice against the XRP community and the XRPL, that there was no use case, that Ripple was selling unregistered securities, not just in the beginning, but for all time, as John Deaton had mentioned, that it went from the beginning till now. It wasn't like, hey, by the way, just kind of like we made the statement on Ethereum that in the beginning they were selling an unregistered security, but now it's not. So they could have said the exact same thing as it pertained to XRP and Ripple, but no, they didn't do it that way. It's insane, right? It's just insane, but here we go. So what does the House Judiciary GOP say? They said recent reports suggest that SEC officials are using off-channel communication platforms to conduct official business and are failing to comply with federal record-keeping statutes. What? Imagine that. Really. Big shout out to Doc's Video Poker. What is going on, Doc's Video Poker? Someday this stupid lawsuit went. Man, 2 years. 2 years ago, we started talking about this lawsuit. What are we going to do without it? Let's see. We can talk about all the great projects that are being built and the development of the XRPL and how money is being moved at rapid pace. That we see this whole new technology, this whole new financial asset class, just booming all over the world. All these great things that are going on. That's what we could be talking about. But instead, you know why this is so critical? Because this is the epicenter as far as in the U.S. market. This is the epicenter. This is it. This is everything. Mesoleo says, talk about the topic. The topic is, can XRP go from $1 to $1,000? Is that even possible? I don't know. I don't know if it's possible. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Not sure. Anyhow, let's, what is Jim D says, can you change the chat background options? Transparent mode gets washed out white text. You used to use black overlay, I think. Chat background. Not sure. You're talking about in YouTube chat background? I think if it's a YouTube chat background, it might be on your side. So, zero latency manifestation says, even worse, SEC threatened library over the phone with bankruptcy if they fought them, and they don't allow the calls to be reported. They're terrorizing American blockchain innovators, and that's 100% accurate. I mean, it's so, could you imagine? I mean, we've got the CEO of libraries come out super strong against the SEC. Well, we've got now the CEO. Remember when the CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, had a lot of things to say about the SEC, and then he realized, and someone reminded him that, hey, by the way, you represent a publicly traded company, and then he sat back and said nothing, and that was it. That was the end of that. And then we had Jesse Powell from Kraken, coming out super strong, just over and over. And I mean, it's amazing. And now what we're seeing also, we want to see accountability, right? We want to see full accountability, full transparency, because we see this case that's been going on now for 2 years. And now they're saying that the SEC officials are using off-channel communication platforms for official business, and they're not complying. So we know that they're not complying because their attorneys wouldn't even comply with judge orders in the case. When in the SEC v. Ripple case, the judge was requesting things that the SEC would do, and they wouldn't do it. And so obviously there's some major issue across the board. So, all right, let's move on. Let's move through this. It's fun to kind of just get through it. What's the next thing? Now we're going to be a little out of order. Like I said, these are tweets from October 31st through November 2nd. Some articles, we got some articles to pull up too. I thought this was kind of cool because this is XRP volume in 2 hours. If you check out on XRP.com, talking about 5,750,000 XRP. That's the volume in 2 hours. XRP NFT is here to stay. This is more than Reddit did, more than a quarter of total of ADA Cardano did in a month. 2 hours passed, starting with the XRPL punks. A huge opportunity for us all. Something to really be proud of. A lot of things happening with the XRP punks, X punks. So there you go. There's your NFTs. If you want to get one of these NFTs, you can go try to find it somewhere. So that was that's that. Let's move over to this next one. This is interesting too. Like I said, we're going to get through a lot of cool stuff here. Next thing we're going to talk about is the Interledger Summit that's taking place right now in Louisiana. No, not right now. Sorry, soon in New Orleans. So, but anyhow, this is Ripple, how crypto solutions are driving real business value. So, you know what, if we were to say, where is it? Where did, oh, here it is. If we were to say Gary Gensler, this is what we get. This is what we get. There you go. Those are our cool two cool sound effects. So Sean Thompson, Berserker is next. Is Berserker here? Let me know if Berserker is here with us tonight. But anyhow, how crypto solutions are driving real business value, right? So one, is that XRP thing? What is that? What is this? While crypto has become much more than a buzzword, many finance leaders still don't fully understand the technology and the business advantage it provides. Instead, there are a lot of interpretations and opinions circulating around the meaning of the use of crypto. Is there a lot of meaning? I think a lot of people are pretty spot on with crypto. Maybe we should talk about it from a digital asset. But if we talk about digital asset, then people confuse it with CBDCs. They're like, oh, a digital asset's the same thing as the digital currency. And if the digital currency, it's a central bank digital currency. And then it gets super confusing. So one thing that we say is that, we got to stop using the word crypto. Let's use digital asset. So if you talk about a digital asset, is it different than a digital currency? Now, does that get confusing when you start talking about a digital dollar, a digital euro, a rupee, or a digital yuan? Or do we want to be different? And do we want to keep the terminology of crypto? What actually happens with it? And are people really that confused over the meaning? Or are they more confused over how it's being used? And who are these people that are confused? Are they government officials? What exactly are they? That's the question. So regardless of what you might have heard through the grapevine, there are real crypto solutions that are already making a significant impact on business across industries and around the globe. So if you were the SEC, you would say that XRP, for instance, or the XRPL has zero use case. There you go. All right, Doc, Video Poker, appreciate you. We'll say what's up to Chip. Thank you. So where exactly does this fall? Obviously, we know in this group, we have the best and the brightest in crypto YouTube that gather here, and we know what crypto means. We know what it does. We know the use case and all of that. But there's many out there that need to be educated, that need to learn. And what can we do to truly help get that message across, which is really, I think, what our role is at this point, right? We're kind of the pioneers in the space. There's pioneers that moved out there to use. There's pioneers that moved out there to preach, and there's pioneers that have moved out there to build. And so right now we're kind of in that adoption preaching phase, and we gotta figure it out. So Ash Raffle is saying that Jeff without Chip is like a fish without another fish. I appreciate that. Like a fish out of water. What is up with that? Very easy. Alan says, we need to get James Rule, XRP, and Jeff on Berserker's channel tonight. What do you all think? Is James Rule still here? James Rule, are you here with us tonight? I know I saw you before, but what is up? So what can crypto do for your business? I think we know. Now, here is, okay. We just talked about crypto. In this article, this is coming from Ripple, this is where it gets a little confusing. I think what they said right in the beginning, when it comes to crypto, understood broadly as cryptocurrency, but also stablecoin and central bank digital currencies. I think this is the one area where we're going to have to disagree with the statement. I mean, this is being written by people in Ripple, obviously far brighter. They have super talent that work over there, but we have to disagree that the central bank digital currency has anything to do with crypto or the decentralized framework with that is falling into blockchain. I think we have to take this one out. CBDCs, take that out. CBDCs might end up being built on the, on the side using side chains or whatever technology we might see coming out of the XRPL, or even what some of the things that Ripple might be able to do to help build a CBDC. Anyhow, NFTs and more, the opportunities are endless. For example, so I guess this is some use case. Can you build I guess that's the point. So when it comes to crypto, again, it's not understood broadly, but if we were to look at what, some of the product, so I guess you could put a CBDC could be built on top of utilizing the ledger or a decentralized framework, right? Obviously, NFTs, for example, for finance professionals who are dissatisfied with slow and inefficient payments, right? That, you know what this is? This is a major, major issue. Alex D Vlogs, what's up? So slow and inefficient payments. I'll tell you what, every single day I run into people in business, people that I'm working with, people that I'm affiliated with that have the exact same issues. I have issues trying to get money transferred, getting people paying us. For instance, if you use QuickBooks has a max cap of how much money somebody can send you. QuickBooks, on the other hand, it also takes longer time to settle. You use QuickBooks, maybe they'll have an ACH option, or they'll have a credit card option, and there's high fees. And there's high fees across the board. There's high fees for the person sending, and in many cases, there's fees for the person receiving. So if you're sending a bank wire, an ACH, it's slow, it's inefficient, there's cost behind it, and there's no transparency. You have no idea where the payment is in the process of the payment, and it causes significant problem. So here, obviously, with crypto, you can get the lightning fast rails for payroll processing. Everybody wants to get paid. They want their money. We want micropayments. We want cross-border payments. We want treasury management. There's so many great things that can be done within crypto. Why is it that Gary Gensler doesn't get it, right? It's mind-numbing at this point. That's why building and increasing customer engagement with crypto payments is one key use case. What is it? Crypto payments, moving money. You can strengthen brand loyalty, improve customer retention, stay on the cutting edge. All these cool things, plug and play. There's all these amazing things. Lastly, tokenization. We've talked about that, like with Roofstock. They sold a house as an NFT. It was actual real estate that was sold. You can actually take real estate and you can tokenize it. You can have 100 people buy the same house. How cool is that? Where's the sound effects on the chain on Twitch? Man, we need more sound effects. That's what we need. We need tons of sound effects. We got to figure that out. And that's it. Alan G, what is up? Why can I only send $1,000 on the Cash App? There's all sorts of limitations out there when you try to send money, when you try to receive money. It's so limiting, and it's our money. We want to move our money, and yet you can't do it effectively. It crushes business. It crushes individuals. It makes it extremely, extremely challenging. But the idea here, again, what do they want to dangle in front of you when they roll out the CBDCs? They want to dangle the efficiency aspect of it. They say, well, if you're going to have a central bank digital currency, a CBDC, you're going to sacrifice privacy. You're going to sacrifice the fact that they now have control over your assets, over your money, and they can shut it off at any given moment. However, what you're gaining in return is immediate settlement. What you're gaining in return is low cost of transaction. What you're gaining in return is full transparency of transaction. So what they want you to see are all the positives. It's like watching a commercial. Let's say you're watching a commercial for a pharmaceutical, right? They tell you all the amazing things, but first they show you the problem. You're tired, you're irritable, but we have a pharmaceutical that'll keep you awake and make you happy, right? And it's gonna be awesome. You're not gonna be miserable anymore. Right. But that's the great thing, right? They can give you this sleep end pill to make you wide awake. But then the side effects are typically death or, worse, you'll never, stay awake again. You'll sleep forever. I mean, it's like, all these crazy things. So they're going to do the same thing with money. They want to say, hey, with money, here you go. Here's your problem. It's not efficient. It's costly to move. There's no transparency. It's difficult to move money, etc. All this stuff. That's so amazing. We're going to fix all your problems for you. And then all of a sudden you'll see all the bad things will start streaming up there. You're going to again, you're going to lose your privacy aspect. They're going to monitor every dollar that you spend. They're going to take taxes immediately. They're going to track what you buy, how you buy it, when you buy it. Everything is going to be trackable and traceable because you're going to lose privacy. So if you're in the United States, what does that mean? A potential risk and loss of the Second Amendment, right? Because now they're going to track where you're spending your money. Now, if you spend your money somewhere in a state where they don't want you to spend it, maybe all of a sudden they're going to penalize. Oh, sorry, we're having technical difficulties to access to your money. Sorry, you can't access your money, or they're going to find a way to penalize you. So a lot of risk on the other side that we have to be very cognizant of. So obviously the XRPL, something very critical here. From crypto-enabled payments and optimized crypto liquidity, which is great. On the Ripple side, to central bank digital currencies, Ripple's crypto solutions are powering innovation. So now remember that Ripple isn't a retail consumer-facing product, right? Ripple is an institution level product that reaches out to banks, to financial institutions, and yes, also to government. So if from a Ripple's perspective, they're building out their platform, and yes, they exactly are going to be building their platform to the CBDCs. Then what is up? Everybody say welcome. My dad is logged in here. Papa Hodl has joined the chat. So give a big welcome to him. What we could do is give a give him a quick standing ovation. There you go. Quick standing ovation. So what else we got here? All right. We kind of scroll through all of this. Anyhow. All right. You guys weren't even looking at this because I'm over here and we stopped sharing a long time ago. And I'm sitting here highlighting stuff and looking at stuff and looking over this, and you guys didn't see any of it. So that's all right. That is okay. So let's go to see. Hey, everyone give a quick shout out where you guys are tuning in from. So I think we have people tuning in from all over the world. You guys did it in the beginning, but then a lot of people didn't shout out as they popped in here. Also want to see if you guys haven't done so already and you're brand new here. I'm sure most of you guys know who we are and you've been logged in and you're already following, you're already subscribed, you've already hit the bell notifier. So you've already done all this stuff. So that's really, really cool. But if you want to get other great content like this, by the way, we do stream 3 days a week. So we're streaming Sunday at 8 p.m., Wednesday at 8 p.m., and Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. 3 streams. And then Hans Loaded, who is our producer in the background, you guys know Hans Loaded. He's also taking these longer streams and we'll chop them up into little consumable 10-minute shorts. So if there's something that we covered, maybe we're talking about something cool about John Deaton and Hans Loaded grabs it, chops it, we put it up and we launch it, and that's getting a lot of traction. Then you can always go back and be like, you know what, I want to hear just one part of it. I don't want to go back and listen to the whole thing because I was busy chatting. But that's how it goes. Man, we've got Cardiff, the UK, Kenobi, what is up? Vincent Scully coming in from New Jersey, Australia, Bush Turkey, Legendary coming in from Cambodia. How cool is that? What is up, Cambodia? We've got Sean ATL, and then we've got Alan coming in from Hollywood, Florida, right down the street, right around the corner over here. What is going on in Hollywood, Florida? And we got Toronto. What is up, Toronto? More Australia. Got Australia coming in all over the place. We got Vero Beach, as we know. Got lots of Florida here. Look at this. We got Deerfield Beach, Stoffel Design Studio. Man, more South Florida. We're going to have a South Florida meetup. We're going to plan that soon. I've been talking about a virtual meetup. We've got the software platform. We bought that a long time ago. We had a couple really great virtual meetups. I want to do another one. I really want to do an in-person, on the chain XRP community meetup. So we're going to have to plan for that. Maybe we'll get, as the new year approaches, we'll plan something here in the new year around when it gets cold and motivate some people to come down. So how about that? So we got VGG in Cancun. Man, we got Mexico. We got Alberta here. Man, we got all sorts of stuff going on. How cool is it? How cool. All right. So check this out. If you guys are in New Orleans, check it out. If you're in New Orleans, coming up November 12th to the 13th, guess what they're going to be doing? The Interledger Summit in New Orleans. This has got to be amazing. If I wasn't otherwise preoccupied with meetings, then I would definitely be attending that. I think this would be amazing. The festivities on the 11th. So go check it out. I think you guys will be ecstatic about going to the Interledger Summit. Man, we've got Malaysia. What's up, Susan in Malaysia? That's really cool. Jim D, look at this. I look at this great statement from Jim D. First utopia, there is no explicit constitutional right to freedom of privacy. Freedom of privacy. Man. All right, what's next? All right, so let's move down the list here. Like I said, October 31st through November 2nd. These are the tweets. Some of them are out of order. So that's how it goes. How do you like that? K HUD with the seasons. We got seasons. We got hot, humid, and then it gets mild and nice. And, in your wintertime, when you have snow, it's beautiful over here. Those are our seasons. Hot and humid and beautiful. Then there's some in-between stuff. That's it. So, all right, now here we go. Jake Chervinsky. We don't have to get into the history of Jake Chervinsky, but it's rare in the world of the SEC enforcement to see public outcry register on a federal court docket in the way we've seen from XRP holders since December 2020. And John Deaton deserves a lot of credit for that. And for this brief, I look forward to reading the SEC's reply. Now, one of the things that Jake is pointing out here is that this is probably the first time in history that retail investors have come after the SEC for infringing on their rights to invest and really making a statement to say, SEC, the action that you've taken has caused billions of dollars in losses and damages, not just now, but into the future. What you've done is negligent and beyond. And so it's amazing that people all around the world are really putting their foot down and making a statement. Now, John Deaton, obviously dedicated to the XRP holders. Why? Because the XRPL and XRP, it's truly a decentralized community brief, as he dropped, and we were talking about that a little bit. And John Deaton said, thanks, Jake. This is big. Catacomb lead, John, I've been here since the beginning. And then before that, I was with XRP for about 6 months through nothing but pure and natural investigation. I saw your first videos. I've been more than blown away by the results that you've achieved. It's amazing what John Deaton has achieved. It's amazing that he was able to put himself out front and center in support of the XRP investing community, which is amazing. XRP holders. K HUD history. That's it. What is up? Thank you for the support. K HUD. What is up? A lot of great things happening. Coinbase. Man, when is Coinbase going to relist XRP? Now, what did Chip do here? Chip said, solid of you to show some respect. Big applause to Jake. Now, if Jake was here, we'd say, hey, Jake, we've got some applause for you right now. That's to Jake Chervinsky. And then if we're going to mention Gary Gensler, Gary, we've got something for you too. Don't worry. And there you have it. The people have spoken. It's official. It is definitely official. All right, let's move on over here. So this was, I keep saying August, October 31st, CryptoLaw breaking. Just added to our document library. What motion for leave by John Deaton and the XRP holders to file an amicus brief in opposition to the SEC's motion for summary judgment plus exhibit. And there it is. And here, we're not going to go through the whole thing, but it is massive, right? Sherry says, replying to CryptoLaw, John Deaton and SEC Gov, well said. John did well in pointing out the difference between a sale and the fact that the underlying asset would remain a separate issue in appearance. Where is that? Here it is right here. When an asset is offered and sold as an investment contract, therefore a security, it does not transform the underlying asset itself into a security, hence the orange in Howey, right? Oranges remain oranges and XRP remains XRP, digital code. Therefore, even if Ripple offered XRP as a security, which it didn't, related to specific transactions, and maybe in the very beginning, XRP would still remain exactly what multiple government agencies classified it as in 2014, 2015, and 2019, decentralized virtual currency. And there you go. It's over and done with. So that's it. So just like the SEC came out and said, well, in the beginning with Ethereum, maybe they were selling an unregistered security, but then it changed, and then the use case and blah, 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 blah. Now the SEC comes out with Ripple and they say, well, from the beginning of time, you sold XRP as an unregistered security. You had no intent and you have no use case. Not like Ethereum. Ethereum has full use case and utility and all this stuff, and the XRPL has no use case, no utility. Therefore, we see it as a security. Makes no sense, right? Now, the other part is that they sold as an investment contract, right? Offered as, and there's these different tenets of the Howey test. And when it comes to Gary Gensler, he looks at just one component and doesn't even look at the whole component of it. It's crazy. It makes no sense, but thank God for John Deaton, throwing this out there and showing the SEC that the SEC is misinforming. I want to say they're misinformed, but no, in fact, they're misinforming the people. And that's really unfortunate. What is up, Sophie? Glad to see you. E4 rockin'. What is up? XLS20D is super meaningful. XLS20D is going to make waves, is what it's going to do. So hang on a minute. The reality of the day is 80% of the political donation given by Fortune 100 Corps is going to Dems. Think about the implication. That is Jim D. Legendary. The Fourth Amendment protection from an individual's persons, houses, papers, and effects is specified in the U.S. Constitution to include any areas where a person has reasonable expectation of privacy. There you go. Privacy. Money. It goes back to our original. What is up, Chip? Chip. What's going on, Chip? I appreciate Chip. What is up? Look at that. Chip is in the house. Popped in for a minute. What's up? So, all right, we covered this one. Let's go to the next one. And there it is in full effect. Look at that. Boom. Check this out. This is good. Dear Judge Torres, Your Honor previously granted Amici Curiae status to 6 individual XRP holders. Right? And so it goes on. And this is just pure gold as you go through this. Man, it's just good stuff. There you go. To the Honorable Annalisa Torres. Let's go to the bottom. Let's go. There's so much stuff here. There you go. John, respectfully submitted, John Deaton Law Firm in East Providence, Rhode Island. Man, look at all this. This is just pure gold. There'll be a link to it. You guys can read through it as you get to it. Lots of great stuff in there. A lot of great things to get into and read about. But we're going to move on to some lighter stuff like this. Moonchaser. Joseph Kennedy, the first chairman of the SEC, once said, "No honest business need fear the SEC." On the contrary, all businesses need fear a dishonest SEC. Now, could you imagine that You don't have to fear the SEC. Well, maybe back then, but even maybe back then, I don't know. I mean, it gets kind of outlandishly crazy when we think about it. All right, let's move on to the next one here. What did Eleanor drop here? Let's see what this is. This one, breaking, Judge Knepron has granted the SEC request for 2 redactions to the Hinmman documents. The redactions will be made on the communications that discuss pending determination before the commission, aka subjects that are currently being debated at the agency. This was filed on October 31st. Like I said, anything posted October 31st through November 2nd. And there you go. More SEC. Dear Judge Knepron, pursuant to court's July 12th order, the SEC respectfully submits 4 in-camera review proposed redactions to 2 drafts. Now, again, they've had this Hinmman speech since 2018. They've known about it since 2020 when this case started. They knew about it, I should say, when they filed the case in 2020. Maybe they thought nobody would dredge it up. Maybe the SEC, when they filed this, never thought that that Ripple would fight back. Maybe they thought the XRP community would sit silently on the sidelines and just bow at the SEC's feet and thank them with gratitude for how great the job they're doing at destroying the community and costing billions of dollars in damages. And they just expect everyone to grovel and thank them for the calamity that they've caused. So maybe that was the case. I don't know. So John Deaton, again, look at this nice little tweet. Coinbase just filed amicus brief. There you go. That was October 31st. That's Coinbase. Coinbase. Man, just one after another after another. It's amazing. Let's go. Let's go. Look at this again. And here was that. We read this one a little bit earlier, right? But I think we need to read it again. House Judiciary GOP recent reports suggest that SEC officials are using off-chain communication platforms to conduct official business and are failing to comply with federal record-keeping statutes. What does that mean? How do they be held? How are they then held accountable? What will then happen? We don't know exactly, but we want answers. Who wants answers? Patrick McHenry and Tom Emmer. A lot of people want answers. They CC'd. Who do they CC? Nadler, Maloney, and Waters. Where's Waters? On the Financial Services Committee. Come January, guess what? No more. Say goodbye to her chairwoman position at the Financial Services Committee because she will be replaced, as will each one of these representatives that we have CC'd, that we see CC'd in this letter. All of them will be gone come January, which will be interesting to see. So here, dear Chair Gensler, according to recent reports, the Securities Exchange Commission is fining companies for communicating about business matters on personal devices. These fines are curious in light of your history of skirting federal transparency and records laws, as well as evidence that the SEC is currently using so-called off-channel communication platforms for official business. We write with questions about your commitment to transparency and accountability. Now, we see everything that they've done in the SEC v. Ripple case. Now, the ante's been upped. The ante's been upped again against them. The chair and the chair people, persons sitting on the SEC have really stepped in it. They've stepped in it over and over and over again. What is up with this? In 2013, this is to Gary Gensler, while you served as chairman of the CFTC, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC Office of Inspector General discovered, look at this, how you used a personal email account to conduct official business. And they said no. During an investigation into your handling of the collapse of the MF Global Holdings, found that you used your personal email 7,005 times to conduct official business related to that matter alone. Your defense to violating federal record-keeping requirements was that you apparently did not know how to access your official email at home. Come on. This is such a cop-out. It's such nonsense that, it's crazy. It doesn't work like that, but obviously it's very easy to claim I didn't know, can't, blah, 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 whatever it is. Recent reports suggest the SEC under your leadership is likewise failing to comply with federal record-keeping statutes, in particular evidence uncovered during the FOIA, Freedom of Information Act litigation suggests the SEC is failing to identify and produce records of official business conducted on non-email or off-channel platforms such as Signal, WhatsApp, Teams, Zoom, etc. Now, Zoom can be recorded, Teams can be recorded. They can then file all that good stuff away. Signal, WhatsApp, you can set it to terminate at will whenever you want it to. So they're saying, hey, you know what? Step up. What the heck is going on? Certify. Look at this. The SEC must practice transparency and accountability at breaches. So they're saying you're finding companies for communication on personal devices, yet they're doing the exact same thing and worse. Why? Because these are public officials. These people are responsible to answer to who? The people. Thank you, Patrick McHenry and Congressman Tom Emmer, Congressman Patrick McHenry, ranking member. A lot of stuff going on here. This is really, really critical, especially as we go through all the things that are unfolding in the SEC v. Ripple case. Very critical, very important stuff. So let's move on here. The Wrath of Kahneman. So here we use the Wrath of Kahneman. We've got a quick summary. Coinbase makes the case that the SEC has failed to give the crypto world any notice at all, that facts are in dispute. Interesting, there's no mention of their own inquiries regarding XRP, but they go hard on the constitutional issues of fair notice and the SEC's failure. And that's James Filan over here saying Coinbase has filed a request to file an amicus brief in support of Ripple's fair notice defense. Everybody's coming out of the woodwork. We've talked about that. Really, really strong. You know who else is coming out of the woodwork? Ben Armstrong. That's who's coming out. Greatest networks of value in human history. We know he loves Bitcoin, but he also loves, you know what? XRP. Crypto Wolf. XRP will dethrone Bitcoin someday. XRP will soon or later flip BTC and coin market cap. And XRP man said, Bitcoin, you're on fire. On fire. Now, we won't get into those tweets down there, but here you go. XRP Army, all sorts of stuff going on. Wow, it's great. Just crazy, crazy, amazing stuff that's out here. So yeah, this was fun. Chip, hopefully you're having a great time where you're at. Great time over here. Let me add this. We'll just fly through a couple of these articles right quick. This is really cool. CoinGate, more Amicus and XRP lawsuit. Is it good? Attorney Jeremy Hogan states that different individuals entering the XRP lawsuit would show the importance of it among the people. So it's amazing, right? We're looking at all the different, over and over and over again, just so many people that are jumping in and helping to support this. What else? What was this? Ripple STASIS integrates biggest euro stablecoin on the XRP ledger. This is really cool news. So this is the positive stuff. There's all sorts of amazing things happening on the XRPL. So SEC, guess what? The XRPL and XRP has a full use case, and there's a lot going on within it. The largest euro-backed stablecoin in the crypto ecosystem is now available on Ripple's XRPL, or really it should just state it's available on the XRPL. It doesn't belong to Ripple, by the way. According to the STASIS team, the integration on the XRPL, which began in February, was completed yesterday. Yours is the leading euro stablecoin and ranks among the top 10 stablecoins worldwide. Along with the XRPL Foundation, the community, Ripple provided STASIS with the technical support to make it possible. There you go. Lots of amazing things that are unfolding on a regular basis. Now, one more thing here. Former Ripple CTO teases a new project that will use XRP. Stefan Thomas is working on XRP-powered micropayment network. So micropayments, which would go really to the retail level, I would assume, to pay clients. But amazing. Look at this. Thomas, one of the earliest adopters of Bitcoin, joined Ripple all the way in 2012 when the company was still just a small startup. Thomas joined Ripple as a senior engineer, was responsible for working on the Ripple client. Just amazing, right? Just crazy. So a lot of things happen. What's going on here? What is this news at the bottom here? SHIB price analysis for November 2nd. Lots of excitement with the Shiba. Man, Shiba Inu, people are fired up about Shiba. Is it going to go to $1? That's what everybody wants to know. Will XRP go to $1 before SHIB goes to $1? That's what we want to know. Jeff, check the keep. Breaking news. Breaking. Is SHIB going to go to $1? That's what we want to know. Let's see. Breaking. This is breaking information as we put it out here right now. Here we go. You guys ready for this? You guys ready? Breaking. Drum roll, please. This was just posted just recently. Let's blow this up. Here we go. Let's see. What is the breaking? Cryptillian Payment Systems LLC filed a request. They accept XRP, and it's the second most popular crypto utilized with their app. One more. Here we go. They accept XRP. There we go. Crypto Caddy. Thank you very much. I got it. I'm a robot. That's how it goes. Get it all done. Really amazing. I'm telling you. And then we got to review this one more time. House Judiciary GOP. Recent reports suggest the SEC officials are using off-chain communication platforms to conduct official business and are failing to comply with federal record-keeping statutes. Not too far off from what's going on in the SEC v. Ripple case, right? So, man, this was amazing stuff. Thank you very much, Chip, for providing us with some breaking news, breaking, exciting news. We had to jump into that right away. And actually, well, all this stuff is going on. We're running out of time. But one last thing, why we have to get this one in there, because, hang on, because payment giant Visa files trademarks for crypto wallets and the metaverse. What? Visa getting into it. We'll cover that on another day. What is up, Mark Phillips? Good to see you. We will have Mark Phillips back on the chain at some point here, right, Mark? So for all of you guys out there, you guys are amazing. We had an awesome show tonight. Round of applause for everybody that is here and talking and showed up. Big round of applause. You guys did an amazing job showing up tonight, being here with us as you do. We have the best and the brightest in the crypto space, and we appreciate you guys. It's amazing. We'll see you guys back here Saturday morning, bright and early, 8 a.m., right here on the chain. Chip and I. What is up? Thank you, Legendary. Thank you all the great on the chain family members. Come join Berserker. He's on the Blue Crew Crypto Night Live. They have a great show over there as well. Go check out Berserker. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Chip, Jeff, we are out. I'm out of here. See ya.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.